Welcome back to the Toad Cam. Today we're going to cover very explicitly the chunking up and chunking down process, one of the grand meta programs. And I will try to make as clear as possible how beliefs operate in a very circumscribed way, but we will definitely have a look at beliefs and two types of belief processes or belief formations that can get us into trouble. As I think I demonstrated with the philosophy cup the other day, we have a structure. So I've made this more clear. I've made this more graphic. And this is our map of consciousness. And in the middle ground of consciousness here, I'm going to call daily bullshit. So this is where the daily bullshit is. Up here, if you say chunk up, okay, or if we're moving inductively, we're chunking up, these are where your big beliefs are stored. I don't know how these things are actually represented in people's minds. You know, what does a belief look like or sound like? A large-scale belief. But we have many of beliefs, you know, like terms that we use often generally and somewhat intuitively and often carelessly, which gets us into trouble. You know, you could have someone could talk about precision, or someone could talk about love, or someone could talk about their mission. So I suppose when we're doing submodality work and that kind of stuff, we're working on big issues. These are going to kind of be the great big pictures, the great big frames that we put all these things in. And this is sort of our daily, sort of the part of our day we just kind of go through on our default mode. We're not really noticing it. And down here, of course, are all the little superfine specific elements of our life. So if you walked into your house or your apartment, all the little stuff around that positively identifies that as your place is down here. So I think we're going to make a breakthrough and we're going to clarify some issues with belief. And here's where we're going to go with this, that is going to be a one step in advance of where most NLP is. And that is this. There are really, and the reason I think there's a lot of confusion in NLP is that beliefs come in two major forms. One are generalization beliefs and the other are specification beliefs, okay? Like if you think this specific ring is mine, I know this specific thing is mine, that's a very strong belief. Or this specific cell phone is mine, or this is my dog, or that is my grandmother. These are beliefs based on very specific, fine-grained details that distinguish that from everything else. Okay, so those are chunked down beliefs. Chunking up beliefs, okay? So going in the inductive direction, chunking up beliefs are beliefs of she loves me, that was just or that was unjust, that's the truth or that's not the truth, he's on purpose or he's not on purpose, etc. So one type of belief involves framing issues, how we frame things generally, moving inductively. The other is the deductive form of belief of how we take very, very specific things and assign them specific meaning and value. So belief is moving in two directions. So what I have here is I have my philosophy basketball, okay? This thing is our basketball that we will be able to do some new code belief work with by mapping over into our body sense. So if you think this is the you space, and up here is what is this an example of? Okay, what is this an example of? What are these the frames of, the big frames? And of course, what is an example of this? So we can play a lot of very fine basketball with our philosophy basketball. And what we're going to explore playing philosophy basketball, as you can see that orange thing, is the next problem. And the next problem is this, very quickly. We'll go into this in more detail. That is two ways that often confused and dysfunctional and problematic beliefs are formed. There is the over-categorizing type of problem, and there's the over-specifying type of problem. So we have to be alert to both of those and notice when they're taking place and be able to take some kind of corrective action. So we will say, we'll be able to look at beliefs, and we'll use the philosophy basketball to play belief ball. And when we see one of these problems, what is this an example of? Is this an example of over-specification? Or is this an example of over-categorization? Okay, so that's going to be really interesting to know if you've gone up and then you've jumped down and you've made a far too specific category assignment based on some small, fine example. Okay, so that's how we're going to be working with this. Let's park that here and see where we can go with it.